Hey everyone, Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing another Mystery Mystic reading, and we are looking specifically at questions surrounding Darnell Jones Ogletree, or Darnell Ogletree Jones. He is the named suspect in taking Keimani Latigue's life. And I decided to start with him. Then the next person I'm going to do a reading on is the biological mom, and followed by the grandmother. I know some of you probably would like me to do the grandmother first, but Spirit is telling me no, I need to do it this order, and I'm going to oblige. So we're going to go ahead. I've got a lot of questions, and I'm going to have this baby time stamped to make it easier for us to navigate if we need to refer back to this reading at another point in time. Before we get into it, I did do an opening oracle reading just for Darnell, and some key cards that came up to me in that reading, aside from the anger and chains and fated to suffer cards, we got the comfort pet. I feel like someone close to her, someone she would normally be comfortable around, right? Because it's got the keyword comfort, so keep that in mind when we're doing this reading for him. Another standout is screenplay. And in the text of the guidebook for this one, I read to y'all in part 3, there's a keyword script. When you think of script, you think of someone orchestrating a story, someone who is the screenwriter, and then there's the actors who are playing the characters. And I said in part 3, I felt like he was a character in this screenplay. So bear that in mind. This made me sad. After I wrapped the reading up for part 3, that video, I got sad because it was like, it felt like he wanted to devour her, if that makes any sense. Like he needed to, when you think about eating something, you're getting rid of it. But also this made me mad and sad because there wasn't, check out the people closest to her. Where was the real hunger in searching for her? And Spirit is saying that there's clues in the lack of hunger for finding her. I'm not talking about the community who was searching for her. I'm talking about the people closest to Keimani. And why wasn't there a lack of hunger to find her? Now, again, this is just from what I'm picking up on energetically here. I'm going to push these off to the side, and we're going to get into question number 1. Question number 1. What motivated Darnell to do this, allegedly? Judgment. That flew right out. All right. I'm going to use my Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle. What motivated him to do this? Because I do firmly believe that they nabbed the right one. We have inside, collapse or ruin. And I'm going to take this section and pull, because this is a 180 card deck, so I shuffle it in sections. Contamination. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting combo here. So I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little closer. All right. Judgment is the card. Sometimes when judgment comes up, in a literal sense, it could be a judgment, child support judgment or order, a lawsuit judgment, something about something being evaluated and a decision reached and adjudicated and handed down, and this is what it is. Now, it could be that in this card, this is an interesting take on the judgment card for those of my tarot readers. You know, like this is an interesting take on it, like this reflection back part. Like I do get a sense that there was a break in his like he had a psychotic break of some sort. There's a fragmented mind state with this I'm seeing with the image just itself, but also it feels like he felt like he had to follow through and make this happen because things had gone too far. I don't know. And I'm saying that because this card is sitting over the collapse or ruin. Things went too far. And so now he had to be the executioner for her, which is terrible. Inside, perhaps Spirit is giving us a metaphorical meaning, like this is an inside job. In the opening oracle reading that I did, I think it was part 1, I think it was part 1. And I used this deck and it came up with 2 or more people. And then another deck in part 2's reading came up with there's multiple people involved. An inside job, if you will. Help from the inside. I don't feel like there was a struggle with Keimani to leave with him. We see that here with that comfort card. Inside, collapse, ruin. It was like a point of no return. Something happened. She could have been hurt. There was no way he could let her live with what he had done to her, what she had seen. He had a break in his, like a psychotic break, and he went too far and was tainted. Deliberate tainting of like a deliberate cover up, because if he let her live, she was going to reveal some things that, you know, that were devastating for him or whoever he feels like he's answering to with this Judgment card. And he is answering to someone. I suppose he could be answering to God, and he is. But I'm talking about someone in the physical realm. And I feel like he felt like it's, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do it because my life is over anyway. He had nothing to lose. My life is over anyway. Purposely throwing things off too. Like, ugh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Let me know what you all think about the cards that came up to this question of why he did it. Something about, it could be a monetary judgment of some sort. We had a lot of money cards coming up in part 1. In part 2 of the reading, from what I felt. I haven't watched the videos in a while. I have to go back and watch them. But judgment, literal judgment, something legal. But that's set in emotion. I said it too in the past readings. There's like 2 plots overlapping. There's something that was going on that did involve Keimani, that unbeknownst to her, of course. And then there's another plot, his plot, that ended up we see what ended up happening. He took her life, allegedly, because he hasn't gone to trial or any of the things yet at the time of this recording. I'm recording both part 3 and part 4 in the wee hours of, let me see what time. It's like 2 something in the morning on April 14th, 2024. I like to do readings like this at night where I have no minimal interruptions. It's my favorite time when the veil is thin. All right, I'll be right back. Question number 2. How did Darnell execute this plan? And then I'm going to ask, was it premeditated? Or any aspect of it meditated? The Hanged Man. Was he part of another premeditated plan or some kind of plot? Yeah, he was. 2 of Wands. And was what ended up happening to her, can it be proven that it was premeditated? King of Wands. The Lovers. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. All of these are yes cards. My first question was was he part of some plan that didn't involve taking Keimani's life. Yes, he was. He was. And it's two. Look at that. Two of Wands. Two. Duo. Duality, it says here. Duo. Togetherness. Planning. Progress. Making decisions. 2 weeks is key. 2 weeks is key. Preceding what happened to her. Even maybe preceding the alleged trip. Alleged, because is there any... Well, we're going to take Tiara's word, the biological's mom word, that Keimani did go up for a visit. Everybody pretty much affirms that, right, on March 15th. Spirit saying about 2 weeks before that, there's something about Darnell. And I may be looking at his social media, or perhaps friends and family, maybe those who watch this video, who happen to come across this reading. 2 weeks before, there was something critical that happened around between him and this other person who may have been plotting. So there was some other subplot, if you will. But in terms of what happened to her, oh yeah, that also was premeditated, because once he got to collapse point over here, then what ended up happening was he had to figure out how to get rid of her, how to make it happen that she is gone. He had to execute that plan. And so look, King of Wands, strong yes, premeditated in terms of, okay, I took her life. You know, sometimes they might try to, an attorney might argue second degree murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it was a crime of passion. I don't know. I don't know the technical terms, but it was like in the heat of the moment. No, this wasn't in the heat of the moment. There will be evidence to come about down the line that he planned taking her life when things fell apart. Things fell apart. King of Wands. Two. Look at that. Two people. The lovers. Who's the lovers? It's a lovers dynamic in this situation. Collaboration, if you will. Two. Gemini. Two. Lovers. Someone connected as lovers. Now, I wanted to talk about how did he make this happen. I'm going to sit with the Hanged Man. I'm not quite sure. It's in reverse, too. I got to sit with that and pull some oracle to see. Spirit, how did he execute this? This card jump. Concealed or hidden. Hanging back. Holding back. When the crowds move, he moves. He moves her. He moves her. He moves her. Look, nothing to lose. Motive, revenge. Somebody has a revenge motive, and I don't think it's him. It's somebody else. It could be towards him and or Keimani. I'll put these over here. We're going to stop there for now. I'll try this deck. Bank. Money, 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 money. Bank of information. Hanged man, hanging back, holding back until the crowd, the search parties move about, concealed or hidden. Someone could have been helping him to move her about and about. And what's interesting to me is I'm wondering if this person is in the system like he is. Darnell has a crazy long rap sheet of all kinds of legal offenses, and it was progressively getting worse over time. But I'm wondering if the person who's involved may have less charges against them or convictions or whatnot, or not even in the system at all. I don't know, but that could be also what the concealed or hidden card is talking about. But literally, it's about how he executed this. He moved her, he moved her, he moved her. Sometimes he moved you, and that's what I think the Hanged Man in reverse is. When you have the Hanged Man upright, this is about a pause, about sitting somewhere, you know, new heightened perspective. When it's reverse, it's about, okay, once the coast is clear, I'm moving you, I'm moving you, I'm moving you, I'm moving you. That's what I'm picking up on here. Nothing to lose came up. How interesting. I talked about that with question number 1. Then we have motive, revenge. Like I mentioned before, I feel like revenge could be him. He could be having some element of revenge that comes out later. I don't see how that is yet. If you all know the case, you know, a bit more, maybe you know something more than I do about revenge, but there's an element of revenge that he knows about related to Keimani, related to someone tied close to the situation, needs medical attention, moving her place to place, place to place, place to place. She was, you know, I'm going to be curious to see what the autopsy says in terms of her actual date and time of death. Hopefully they'll be able to pinpoint it. It was not the time of 12/19 when they found her. That was when she was declared deceased. I'm talking about when the official report comes, because I feel like she was moved, she was moved, she was moved, and she needed medical attention. And then finally, he realized she's too far gone, and there's no way he can get around hiding this. So he had to do what he had to do. Nothing to lose. Now, what's interesting to me is I do feel like somebody was helping him, but not necessarily helping him with the actual act of taking her life, because I don't even want to go into too many details here in this video, but her cause of death, you can look it up. It's brutal. Like he, you know, going at her neck till she's almost decapitated. And from what they're saying, that's the cause of death. That means she may have at one point been alive at that point. That's crazy. It's awful. It haunts me. So, but leading up to that, she had been alive for a while. That's why in the reading, if you watch part 1, I talk about it a lot, where I kept saying time is of the essence. Law enforcement, you have a chance to find her. She may need what? Medical attention, but you'll have a chance to find her. And then bank, well, we'll see how this plays out. But check out parts 1 and 2 as we discuss a lot about money in that. But it could be a bank of records, a whole host of records that we're not privy to as of yet. Oh, but we will be. Oh, we will. There's more to come in the coming weeks ahead with these cards as well about how he executed this. I'm talking about within the next 2 to 14 weeks, the season of most of spring. We're going to be probably by the end of spring too. We'll have a better understanding about Darnell's how he was able to get away with this act. And I say that because King of Wands represents the season of end of spring, or the timing of 14 weeks. 2 of Wands, 2 weeks. The Lovers, May 21st to June 20th. So that being the time of significance related to understanding this question a bit more about what he did or didn't do. All right, I'll be right back. We're going to go on to question number 3. Has he ever done anything like this before? Has Darnell ever done anything like this? I mean, it may not be as heinous as this, but along the lines of this level of violence, or have the propensity for this violence. Or because there was mention that he could have essayed her. That has not been officially confirmed yet, so that's all alleged. So does he have a history? Okay. I'm going to reshuffle. I want the card to jump on the table. I will show you what did fall to the floor. The Moon, which is a no card. But let me tell you, one of the key meanings to this card is lunacy. Deep, dark thoughts and emotions that run deep, and a lot of murkiness and mysteries and fears with him. So maybe he hasn't done anything to that extent. But what about essaying people? Girls, boys. Yeah. He has some kind of history with it. The Chariot is a strong yes. Justice is a strong yes. But in terms of something as heinous as what he's going to be accused of as it relates to Keimani, I'm not picking up on that. But in terms of maybe assault, like SA and other kinds of assault, R words, etc. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question. Next up, did he have help? Are there any accessory after the facts or accomplices in this case? Yeah. Yeah. Allegedly, of course. Ten of Pentacles is a yes card, just to show you it's an affirmative of yes. And familial connection. I'll pull an oracle, but it is a yes card. Vindication. Somebody's going to be vindicated in the family. It could be Keimani's family. It could be some other family. There's a lot of families attached to this case because there's foster families, adoptive families. There's, Dorothy and Keimani living together. Then there's, all sorts. It's just a lot of clean up. Someone had helped him clean up. Impulse. That's interesting. Rash decision. Okay. I don't know what was a rash decision, but like I said, yes, he had help. Maybe somebody in his family helped him, with the Ten of Pentacles. It's one of the keywords is family. You probably can't see it, it's tiny print. But yeah, it says family. So, and this also is saying that someone who has been really scrutinized, really heavily looked at, is going to be vindicated in due time. Someone who is accused of having a hand in what happened to her. Could that be the cousin? Could that be Dorothy? Could that be her biological mom? Could that be someone else that's close? Perhaps. We'll see how that shapes up, right? We'll see. They helped with cleanup, allegedly. Maybe it was an impulsive decision on their part to help. So maybe this whole part is more impulsive. The secondary thing that happened, which was taking her life. But there was another plan at work. Hence why he was all around her in the first place, Darnell, allegedly. All right, so I'm going to put these cards over here. Make them neat, and we're going to move on to the next question. Try number 5 here. Was he talking or communicating at any point with someone on those walkie-talkie, on the walkie-talkie that was found on him in Columbus? Now, I know that you can use it for, checking police activity. We got a Tower, which is a no card, but I'll pull an oracle. Maybe at that point he wasn't talking to anyone or communicating. I thought he might be. Or maybe at one point he did. He was using it. He's become accustomed to using it. But the Tower is a no. Like, not at that point he was talking to anyone. It could be that he was using it to listen to police activity, listen to see if they're talking about his location or anything, or picking up anything while he's in Columbus, allegedly, right? Because he ended up leaving, and that came up in one of my readings about the fleeing or running away. And he had shaved, he's changed his appearance and everything. He cut off his little dreads, and he just took off to Columbus, which is like I don't know, hour, 2 hours away, I don't know. But he was caught with a walkie-talkie, And I thought, ooh, maybe he's talking to the accomplice. But what the tower is saying is no, not at that point, or maybe no, not, not for most of the tower period, which is March 21st to April 20th. He may have used it for other means in the past, for other criminal activities to communicate amongst other people. I say that because of the burial or grave card. But when it all came down to it on that day, I think he was just trying to see if law enforcement was on his ass. That's what I think. Then we also got justice and karma, which I like to see because it's an assurance that any questions we have pertaining to this, like in terms of like, was there someone on the other line that was helping him? We'll find out, and we'll get some answers and understanding about that situation as well. And this card is also a nod to us who really are passionate and very concerned about full justice coming for Keimani. So this is always a good card to see in a reading. Right, the next question. Question number 6. What is the nature of the relationship between Darnell and Tiara? Like, what's the overall energy of it? 7 of water, 7 of cups. And the key word on this 7 of water is illusion. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, page of fire or daughter of fire. That would be page of wands. Okay. I have a deck. Actually, I have a couple. So 7 of cups. There's still a bit of passion there. Kind of immature young love feeling here. One could be more disillusioned than the other, or someone keeping up illusions. Like, this is not what you would normally expect from co-parents, I guess. People who are supposedly not together anymore. I wouldn't expect this kind of dynamic, but I guess. Illusions, smoke and mirrors, promises, these, what they call it, dreams of grandeur discussed, immaturity in kind of lust with the fire, daughter of fire, red flags, okay. Okay, unemployed, all right. Reconciliation, okay. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to work now with the Untold Truth Oracle. All right. All right. So proceeding, Spirit has some things to talk about the week, particularly between him and Tiara, allegedly, and going all the way back to about 11 weeks prior to what happened to Keimani. So the key time frame, close time frame, is 7 days preceding, and then, you know, obviously everything went to hell 7 days post the visit on the 15th. Everything went to hell, and we find out that Keimani is deceased in that time. But preceding, 7 of Cups represents the timing of 7 days. There's something critical about their connection. And if people know them or know of their dynamic, they could be able to speak to this, allegedly. Then Page of Wands is associated with either the season of spring or the timing of up to 11 weeks in the past or in the future. We're talking about the past. There's some kind of message of, you know, a new beginning. Let's try to get on the same page. Let's get back on the same page here. We have red flags, signs, cheating, deception. Was there something going on? Some kind of rekindling that we don't know about, allegedly? Not throwing anything out there, just picking up on what the cards are saying. Red flags. This also could just indicate that both of them should have seen red flags in the other. as it relates to their connection in recent days and weeks. That's what I'm sensing here. Somebody, I don't know if one or both are employed or unemployed, but it says broke, fired, living beyond their means, unemployed. Now, this is talking about that was dreams of grandeur kind of energy. Somebody's unemployed, somebody's believing in something because they're broke. I don't know if Darnell has a job or had a job at the time this all went down, nor do I know if Tiara, the biological mom, has a job as well. Don't know. But that's interesting. Reconciliation. Now, reconciliation doesn't have to necessarily mean romantic, right? It doesn't. It says harmony, resolving issues, or getting back together. And it also could be reconnecting mom, daughter, and father together, right? It could be that. We see that here with this last card. Unexpected communication, incoming message, or conversation. Some kind of conversation was going to be had or needed between either Darnell and Tiara or vice versa, or to Keimani or about her amongst each other. But reconciliation. So they weren't in a bad place, I don't think. Maybe in the past they had issues, but in recent times they were getting along famously. That's interesting. That's interesting. Next question. What was Darnell's nature of his relationship with Keimani? Eight of Air. Interference is what it says. I want just one more card, Spirit. Eight of Air. There was bouts of anxiety surrounding this relationship. Somebody holding a lot of anxiety. It could be Darnell towards Keimani or Keimani towards him. He had been slowly trying to come back into her life. I guess, in and out. Not quite sure of that dynamic. Very much so. Like, I don't understand like how often he was popping in and out of her life, but nevertheless, he was. It sounds like snooping. Ugh. Okay, I'm just going to show these to you all, and you all let me know what you think. I feel like she may have had heightened anxiety surrounding him, and he as well towards her, but not for the same reason that she had anxiety towards him. It just feels like unsettled energy, where all she needed and wanted was just to be like to feel like supported and taken care of and nurtured and protected. And there always seemed to be some level of anxiety with him. Like, and he does seem like he's kind of messed up. I'm sorry. Like, if you look through his social media on Facebook, like go through the years, like this is an unstable individual. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. But for him towards her, there was growing and heightened anxiety. We have here snooping. Drive-by, stalking, social media, psychic or tarot readings. But I think it's drive-by, stalking, social media. Who was snooping on who? It could be him snooping. Maybe, that's what I guess parental figures are supposed to do. Thinking of you, crying, nostalgia, missing you. Now this could be she missed him. She really considered him a dad. Or this could be him towards her, which is sick. Infatuation. I do not think that there was an infatuation from her towards him. But we have infatuation, denial, obsession, attraction. Okay. He really had no business, in my opinion, being around her. But that's just my opinion. Lastly, 1111. Twin flame, runner, chaser, divine timing. I'll sit with this one. Runner, chaser. Who's the runner? Who's the chaser? I don't like the dynamic. I don't know when he really was popping up. The page of, or excuse me, not page. I don't know where I got page from. Probably here. Page of Earth, page of Pentacles. 8 months is associated with the Eight of Swords, or the season of late winter, almost mid to late winter, being a key time frame of their relationship, and it's starting to be a anxiety filled for him towards her, and even at times from her towards him. I wonder if she expressed something to someone, a friend, like a classmate, about her dad. It doesn't seem that way. I haven't seen, no one mentioned, like in the news, of her complaining about him or even mentioning him. But I don't know. I don't like this snooping card. You all let me know what you think about that. Okay? Let me know. I'm going to stop here because this video is long and there's a ton of cards. I want to capture the picture, and then we're going to move into the next part. We're going to wrap up Darnell in that next part. But some of the questions we're going to discuss is, what was the nature of the relationship between Darnell and Dorothy, the grandmother? Or, and we'll get more, yeah, that's what we'll go into, Dorothy, for sure. And we'll also look at what's he going to say to the police, and what's next for Darnell in this case. So it'll be kind of wrapping up his part, and then we're going to move on to the biological mom. Okay? So, yeah, let me know what you all think about what came up in this reading, and I'm curious to hear from you in the comment section down below. Do me a favor, on your way out, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? You all take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.